Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will read the last updates of the story about a man whose wife got bored of him, so she decided to call her ex to come and eft her. So this is how he exposed her. If you haven't seen part 1 and 2 yet, I highly recommend watching it on our channel first to fully understand the story and its progression. Let's get started. Update 7. Our attorneys finally came into an agreement, and the divorce will happen shortly. She is taking the unfinished house, and the mortgage is exclusively hers now. The house is for the kids. I don't want anybody to tell me in the future that I caused the selling of the house as part of my revenge for her and that. Plus, I don't want to live in it in her small hometown, an hour away from the capital city where I am now. However, I am taking what I put in it, and that amount is not bad at all. The child support amount is not bad either. Plus, we agreed that she will be dropping the kids at my place in the capital city every other weekend. I'll just have to drive them back. Now I see my kids almost every weekend, but it is not enough for me. It causes me so much pain. I can't handle it sometimes. I just can't allow for 1- and 3-year-old boys to live without a father because of a woman who can't behave. I just wish I could have them, but that's not possible because of the law in Poland. I will have to start driving there in the middle of the week or something to survive. As for her, she keeps messaging me that she loves me, wishes she could turn back time, that she is suffering because of her deeds every day. She softened to a point when she even told me that she no longer thinks checking her phone would be treating her like garbage. She allowed for it, told me I could do it all the time. She told me we could move out of the small town to the capital city. She agreed to tell me everything about the affair, every detail of it, if I'll take her back. She came to my parents and apologized. Something must have changed. Somebody must have told her something. She's willing to do everything now, actually showing some remorse. Last time she messaged me this: "Thank you for not selling the house and ending it with me amicably. Agreeing to your terms also means accepting the divorce. I will have to agree in court, but let me just tell you that it will not be true. I don't want this divorce and love you very much. I know you don't believe it and I understand it, but I want you to know that I hope I will have a chance to prove my love to you one day. I love you and I'm sorry for everything. There are no words to express how I regret all this." Things like that sway me and don't help with the healing process. I would be a liar if I told you her words don't affect me. The vision of my boys growing up in the capital city instead of the small town is tempting. I really believe she has a hard time alone with 2 small boys, but she did what she did. She cheated and ruined it all. I thought it's going to be better with time, but the wound heals very slowly. I will stay the course. I will end this. I will update one day, maybe when I'll be finally happy. What do you think? Do you think my wife is truly remorseful? She only agreed to tell me the details of her infidelity when I'll come back, not right away. She didn't offer checking her phone right away. She didn't offer moving to the capital city from the small town right away. 3 months had to pass so she could show some remorse. When she apologizes, she is not even calling me or visiting me. She is doing it over Messenger. Her family turned out to be fully on her side now, her mother calling me a narcissist, and her sister claiming I want to make money off the divorce and leave a woman with 2 little boys. Yesterday, I visited my kids for a brief time, and she offered I could stay for the night. I left, of course. I would appreciate some insight. Update 8. D-Day was April 7th, and here's my mindset after almost half a year. Such complex situations require answering the same questions every day. In my case, the questions are: do I still love her? Could I go back to her just for the kids? Do I want to go back to her small town where she lives and finish building the house? Would I feel comfortable with myself in 5 to 10 years knowing what she'd done? The answer to all the questions is a definite no, without any hesitation at this point. That's it. Yes, I love my kids immensely and would want to see them every day, but I can't. I would want to love her, but I can't. Despite the fact she wants me back, I would love to have that family back, but I can't. I would want to forget about everything, but I can't. At one point, I even offered her a second chance, which was her moving to my city with kids to start a new life. She didn't even agree, telling me she has her family's help in the small town and won't sell the house because she wants our kids to have something in the future. When I told her the family is not the stupid building but a mother, father, and kids, she only kept her mouth shut. This is when I understood there is no us anymore. There is mutual agreement. There is no middle ground in all this. I explained that I will not continue my life in the small town because this is where the affair started. He noticed her on the street driving by and called her. I continued that I absolutely won't finish building a house which is located 1 mile away from her AP's family house. I will not live another day in my life worrying that she might meet him someday. He lives abroad but visits family 2 to 3 times a year. And then the conversation ended. I hate the small town. She doesn't want to live in the capital. That's it. Here's a little example of her approach to things. We agreed that I'll just take the money I put into the house and she will keep the building for the kids. Now, she even has a problem with that because there's one point in the agreement which states that she is not allowed to sell the house until the kids are 18, adult in Poland. Otherwise, she will have to split the amount of money she would get from selling the house equally between her and me. She claims this is unfair because she plans to finish the house with her own money, and in case of selling it, I would receive half of a much more expensive finished house. When I asked her why would she even think of selling it, she answered that she can't predict what her life will be like. I can't trust her at this point. I'm leaning towards just selling the building only. I can't live with the fact that I would be selling the house which was meant to be for my kids. Update 9. She wrote me this message today. I would like you to answer my question. I'm asking you here because if I were to do it in person, we would only shout at each other. You've told me who I am, what I've done, etc., and don't want to talk about it anymore. Having all that discussed, do you want to forgive me, leave the past behind, and build the family from scratch? Or you already know you don't and won't ever be able to forgive me and you will never go back to us? Please think about it and let me know if you want our marriage back or not. What does it mean? I think she is in no position to even demand me to be so specific now. I think there might be someone else and she wants to clear the situation with me. I responded, I'm worth more than a messenger conversation and we'll talk soon. I talked with her. I presented my only 2 conditions for this marriage to last, which is moving to the capital city and cutting all ties with the AP and his family. The second one is clear for her, but the first one is an obstacle impossible to overcome. She is sorry for what she's done, but not willing to move to Warsaw, because we will never have a beautiful big house there, and even small apartments are very expensive to rent. She argues our kids have it easy in the small town. She only pays the bills for the flat she's currently in because it's her father's building. In Warsaw, she would need to pay 4 to 5 times more for a smaller flat, bills plus rent. Plus, she has all the friends and family to go to with kids after work. That's all true. I see the kids are happy and it's convenient for her. She said if we were to move, it would be only me who will end up happy about it. It would be food for my ego. It's just a tough situation because she is right about this. Even kindergarten in the small town belongs to her sister and we pay almost nothing for it. She just put me in an impossible-to-solve situation. I stand my ground. I will not live in the small town, but I also see it really doesn't make sense for them to move. We agreed that in this case, I'll just keep visiting, spend as much time with the kids as I can. I will keep taking them to Warsaw every other weekend. She told me she will not have anybody else, will just wait for me, and that I will see it for myself in the future, that she will remain single. I find it hard to believe and I don't really care. Maybe it's good because the kids will have only me as a father figure and not some random guy I don't know. During our conversation, she said some things which showed clearly that she is not a remorseful person. When I asked her why she hasn't even called me once during our separation, only sent me texts, she said she didn't have time with 2 kids running around the house. She told me she will never again speak of the affair and will never give me any more details about it if I'll ask. She is done with it. She will not share anything more with me because I told her family about some facts she didn't want me to tell them. She told me that the AP's been writing to her for many years, and she kept rejecting him. But when he wrote last year, it was because of my passive behavior that she decided to start the affair with him. I just replied that what she just said is beyond disgusting, and she just rolled her eyes and replied, "You're thinking only about yourself. You're the only poor guy in this." Update 10. I somehow learned to live by myself with limited time with my kids, and now I feel like dating again. Actually, I started using dating apps some time ago. I get a satisfactory amount of matches, and setting up a date with a nice girl is not an issue. In general, I already had 2 to 3 short-term relationships, which unfortunately had to end because whenever they wanted to meet me, I was busy with the kids. Every other weekend is totally off, but I wish they lasted longer. I always lied that I have some meeting or whatever, and they considered it a lack of interest from my side. The problem is, how do I navigate this? For now, whenever I meet a new girl, I do not say that I'm almost divorced with 2 kids. I found this is the only way for the second or third date to happen. Is there any solution to this? Is there any chance a girl would stay with me if I told the truth from the beginning? Anyone had a similar situation? I do not necessarily feel like having a serious relationship for now, but eventually, I would want to be in one. And that's the end of this story. Do you have any advices for the poster? What would you do if you were in his shoes? Let me know in the comments section.